Hi friends, welcome to Victor's Reality. In today's video, I'll be going over the Aorus RTX 2080 Xtreme graphics card at the riser position and the issues I found out while using it like that. I've always had it at the horizontal position, but I just got the riser and so I could do the video for the riser temps at the riser position. And now I'm seeing these issues come up and I wanted to make sure I made a video so people know about these issues. If it doesn't bother you, awesome, that's great. This usually pertains to people who are going to have the graphics card right at eye level or to the side of the eye level, on the desk, in front of you. I haven't seen any reviewer talk about these issues. And these issues, you know, there's always a solution to them. I could see the solution. And you could even see in this video what I'm talking about with these LED lights right here. Now, I'm not sure if the camera can pick it up, but it's there. It's piercing because it's reflecting off the LED. Remember, there are two LEDs. There's one in this plastic, one behind it, and one on the fan itself. And in the other video, well, in this video, I'm going to show, see, I made this video, I made it in parts, and I made it a week ago. But I've been debating to see if I should, release it or not, because I don't want to sound too negative. I'm not saying the graphics card is bad. It's just these are issues, at least my issues, and I'm sure there's going to be other people out there who are going to have these issues. And, these are things that you should be aware of because it's not a defective card. It's that these issues happen because the card was made this way. Call it design flaw, call it whatever you want to call it, but these are issues that it could have been easily fixed. I could see, I can make modifications to it. But I mean, when you buy something, you shouldn't have to modify anything, right? You should work. Again, it just works. Yeah, right. So with these LEDs, these piercing LEDs, that affects with these angles, with the angles that the card is at. So because the graphics card has lots of angles, the angles I'm talking about, let's just say it's like this. And light comes up and bounces to your face. It bounces. It's at an angle, a curved angle like that. It's curved. So the light goes up and then bounces to your face. So these are major issues, I think. Now again, if you have this also on low brightness, it won't be an issue, but you want the graphics card, you want to have it at high brightness, at full brightness. That's the whole point of the LEDs. If you see any kind of flicker on the fans, there's no flicker from what I'm seeing in real world. It's a constant circle of orange right now. So this is at 100% fan speed. So anything I talk about is, if you see a flicker, I'm not talking about the flicker. This video will talk about the angles and the problems that the angles, what happens with the LEDs and the problems that come up with the angles. You're also going to see the LEDs, the brightness on the left and top left, bottom right, and the middle one. Now again, the camera can't pick it up, but right now I could tell you the one in the middle is like 85% brightness. Now again, the video is going to also show things that I just don't want to sound too negative, and I hope you understand that it's more frustration because I have heard and people have commented and they have also tweeted me and everything, direct messaging me, that they've had issues with the card and we're trying to troubleshoot some issues, and unfortunately some people out there can't get this to work, and that's not right. For a company like Aorus to not have this stuff work right off the bat. I mean, I can understand there's glitches and bugs and the RGB not working, but when the fans suddenly stop for no reason, when you can't even get the Aorus engine to work and you got to turn to MSI or something else, that's ridiculous in my opinion. And again, I have the card. I'm going to keep the card. I'm going to keep on hopefully giving them as much credit as possible and hoping that they fix all these issues. So I'll stick it out, but I'll stick with them. But when someone is coming from a different company, it's going to leave a bad taste, and that's the problem. And I can't tell you I 100% recommend the card because I don't. It has issues, and it has big issues. And, you know, I had a PNY blower card from NVIDIA, and even though it was a slower card and it wouldn't overclock good, I never once had a problem with that card. Never. I turned it on, it worked. I overclocked it a little bit, but since the blower design, you can't really do too much. It was a 970 GTX, so, and it was loud, so I didn't really care for that. But oh well. But I never had a problem with it though. It worked. And these new graphics cards, if the main feature is to have it work, is to display your graphics card, and you can't even get the LEDs to properly work, if all of a sudden they just shut off or they change color and you're gaming and you want all your, like, you know, I like blue and purple. Those are my favorite colors. So I want everything blue and purple. And it's kind of distracting when you're playing and all of a sudden your graphics card turns to orange. I don't like that. So, and then you have to, you know, stop what you're doing, go into the software, turn it back on, only for another hour and a half to pass, and it happens again. So that's my issue right now, and I'm sure there's other people who have issues, and I'm sure there's people who have even worse issues. And, you know, that's not right. I feel bad for everyone who has issues with the card. I mean, you could check out Reddit, you could check out other YouTubers with issues, and in the comment section, because I read all the comments, and they have a lot of issues. And man, that's we should be having fun. We should be gaming. It's Christmas time. We should have, you know, we shouldn't have any stress. And when you pay something for this, you know, you pay this expensive, this you know, $879 is what I paid, and you have these issues. It's, to me, it's ridiculous, guys. I don't know what you guys think. You know, all my Aorus brothers out there, if it works for you, if you've never had a problem, you're lucky, awesome. I'm happy for you. But for everyone else that has the card, that has issues, or is thinking about getting the card, I can just tell you that if you get it and it works, I'm so happy for you. You're lucky. You just hit the jackpot, because it's a beautiful card. But if you buy the card, make sure either you're within that return period, that 30-day return period, and or if you're going to stick with it like I am, you make sure you have 30 days to do that 4-year warranty. So if any issues arise in the future, you're covered. You don't want to miss out on that warranty. I believe under the terms and services, it says you have 30 days to fill out that warranty card. And if you don't, I don't know if you're out of luck or not, but it says that you have 30 days. So why would they emphasize 30 days? So just, this video is going to be in parts. So I just wanted to make sure everyone saw this video. If you guys really want me to do a review on the card, I can make another. These videos they take time, but I can do it. I can go in depth with the card on every single issue into one video if you'd like. I know I've made a couple of videos and there's different issues in different videos, but with this video, hopefully you'll be able to see the RGB glitch, the brightness issue, and the LED reflecting off the design angles issue. And of course, you guys all know the middle fan is a problem. It's always going to be a problem. This card has a lot of problems with cooling now that I've been testing it for close to 2 months. The middle fan needs to be bigger. Point. The top Aorus LED section needs to be removed and needs to let air flow out of it instead of that LED being there. If you're going to have this card in a riser position, you don't need that LED up top because you can't see it. So if you have it in a riser position, which I believe 90% of everyone's going to have it if you're buying this specific card because of the round LED fans, you're not going to see the top of the graphics card. So that whole section should be removed. It should be little holes, like I believe the EVGA one has one where it has little grills in the front face of the GPU. But we should have grills on top to let air escape faster, because that middle fan is having it has to work, it has to be 80%. I've seen a lot of reviewers out there, again, you guys have seen it too, where the graphics card needs to well, it has high temperatures, I've seen a lot of reviewers. I saw Spartan Geek has a review where I believe he's playing Final Fantasy, and his temperatures were 80 C, I believe, or even more. And you know, this card for me has never gotten that high. But again, I don't know what default fans he was using, but the default fans, as you've seen in my videos, anything with 60%, 70% is bad. You need to go 80% plus for it to drop down to under 70. You can do these testings for yourself and see what I'm talking about. It's because of that middle fan. It needs to spin fast in order for it to do anything remotely positive for the card. Plus, that top LED, the Aorus top LED on the side of the graphics card right here, up all this top, they need to remove that LED because we can't see it. Remove it and just let it, let the air flow freely. And that would cool the graphics card. Just those two things would fix the heating problem. The backplate never gets hot to the point where it bothers. It's not hot. I mean, I don't have a heat gun, but it's not hot. I mean, I've touched it and it doesn't. It's not hot. But I think that the middle fan needs to be bigger because it has to spin at 80% for it to actually to work properly. And that's not. You get more noise. Forget about the power consumption. You already know the power consumption is going to be up there, but the fan noise. And if you like the fan noise, well, good, then you're fine. But if you don't like fan noise, and you don't want to have your fans running at 100%, 80% all the time, again, if you want this card to be under 70 C, you need to keep it at 80 fan speed. And if we wanted help with the cooling, again, remove that top LED, remove that thick, glossy plate on the side of the graphics card right here. Remove all that and let it openly, breathe freely, exhausting the air, and that cooling issue would be fixed. But that doesn't excuse the LED's brightness. That does not excuse the LED with up here with the reflection. You can see a little bit right here. It doesn't excuse that, and of course it doesn't excuse the Aorus engine not working and the RGB software glitching. That's why I removed the Aorus engine software and I use MSI Afterburner. But the RGB software works only for an hour to an hour and a half, and then reverts back to this generic orange color, and I have to switch it back. Now, for the last month, I haven't had any problems with the RGB not reading correctly. In my first video, I did have, my third video, I did have problems, but now I don't have any problems. So we'll see how long that lasts, if another update breaks it or anything. So just wanted to make sure you guys were aware of these issues in case you were thinking of buying the card. I don't want to sound too negative, but these are issues. These are my issues, and I just wanted to make sure you know it, about it. Reviewers, they might get golden samples, they might get awesome awesome perfect working cards, but that's not right. Our graphics cards, anyone out there, if you have an Aorus motherboard and everything that I've said, at least in the software side, is not true, please comment below, let me know. Maybe it's, anything other than the Aorus motherboard that you're going to have these issues. I'm using an Asus Maximus X Hero motherboard, and I've seen other people with the Gigabyte motherboards, the Aorus motherboards, and I've seen people not have problems. They use the Strix ones also from Asus, and no problems there either. And some have had problems. So is it a hit or miss? Is it more towards Asus? Is it maybe they're, I don't know, gimping the software so we could have these problems, and they're forcing us to want to go to the Aorus motherboard? I don't know. I mean, now I'm talking too much. I know I'm rambling a lot. They even have problems with the social media. The social media, I'm not too happy about. I have a lot of friends on Twitter, and they brought it to my attention actually, and they were saying, hey Vic, have you seen this contest they're running? And they're running a contest where you can win this graphics card only if you have an Aorus motherboard. That's the requirements to enter. That's one contest. And I'm like, well, that's not nice. That's not right. You know, it's Christmas time. Why would you want to, you know, do that? You know, that's why when I see things like that, I wonder, I hope they're not gimping the software with people who have other, you know, other brand memories or other brand motherboards. I hope they're not doing that. So we'll see. You know, we'll see. You know, if anyone else has problems, comment below. I'll do everything I can to help you and, you know, to tell you what I've done to fix certain problems. But, you know, the main thing is for the gamers out there to know what they're buying. And I haven't seen anyone talk about this. I know I'm talking a lot, and that's what I do. You guys know that already. I guess I ramble a lot. That's why one of the videos was called Rambling. But, you know, when I ramble, I bring out subjects that should be talked about that maybe, you know, you wouldn't have thought of before. So when I had the graphics card running for about an hour and a half, the RGB stopped working. I had it on dazzling, and then it went to static orange, which is the default color that Aorus has. And it has happened to me before, and I don't really catch it on camera, but it does show itself when I switch the benchmarks, when I increase, I believe, the overclock, or when I just increase the fans. But it was in between. It just changed all of a sudden from dazzling to orange, and that happens occasionally. So that's still a glitch with this situation. Also, no, I haven't seen anyone talk about this, but with this vertical position, which, and again, I'm barely finding out because I just got the riser. Check this out. If you're looking at it, you know, face forward, right in front of you. Look at right here. LED and LED. It's mirroring off the middle LED. That's, I don't know. That's ridiculous. How can they not catch that? To me, that is annoying, crazy. It's annoying. On the other side too, right there, you could see it pop into view. It's piercing because it's the LED. So right there, you can see it. Right here and right here. So even if you're looking at it in front of you, you could see it. It bothers. And when I'm over here on my regular position, right here, this is what I was talking to you about the diffuser. And in my situation, and maybe in yours, if I just tilt my head to the left, right there, you could see it. Both of them, but really the one on the right, this one right here. That LED is so distracting. I have to get a diffuser or I won't have it on this position. It bothers so much. Especially if you're in the dark, and if you have, you know, if I had these exhaust fans on lower brightness, I mean, that would be piercing. It's brighter than my Christmas tree light. Look at that. That is piercing, and that's what I told you guys about in the other video, that this was going to be an issue. It is an issue. It actually surprised me how much it bothers. If you have this under your case, if you have this under your eyesight, this doesn't pertain to you. But if you have it at eye level, desk level, you know, I have it on my desk, and I'm right here looking at the software, which is again glitching. Look at that. Oh, that hurts. That hurts the eyes. So again, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. So that piercing LED, they left an exposed LED. A diffuser would fix the problem. So I got to go back and see how I can fix that. And then again, if you look at it in front, you could see it right there on the camera. Here, here, there, here. And if you tilt different positions, it moves. But it's piercing. Those LEDs are piercing. So I just wanted to make sure you guys saw that. This is, you know, in the nighttime, dark room, just my Christmas trees on. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I didn't expect that. And it's all because these angular designs, the angles, that's what's making those things, because they're curved down, so they reflect the light is hitting. Oh, and also, it seems from me looking at it, I can't really capture it on camera because you can't see, because it's spinning. You know, from what I'm looking at, this is at 100% fan speed. On the camera, it's not going to show that, but I can see it. Because of this little hump right here, what's happening is that's blocking the LED. This side of the LED, I would say at 100%. This one, 95%. Same thing over here, 100%. Then over here, 95% brightness. If you look at it, you could tell that 0.5% of brightness difference. And forget about the middle one. The middle one is at, I want to say, 85% brightness. And this is full brightness. So you guys could see. Full brightness on the software. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I could see it in person. And that is something that might annoy. When I first looked at it, I'm like, oh man, I have a bad LED, because I thought this was brighter and this was less brighter and then this is the least. But no, it's because that hump over here, it's it's diffusing the light less. So it's, I believe it works in tandem with the LED that's on the fan and the LEDs that are inside. It's reflecting to give it more of a vibrance. That's what I think those hump. Because because on this hump, the side of the hump is the lower brightness. Side of the hump is lower. So this is lower, this is higher, this is lower, and this is higher. And forget about the middle one. So just want to make sure everyone knows that. Again, this is the 2-inch gap I have for air to be sucked in. And then with the air, it's being exhausted up. So now my CPU cooler is going to get a little bit warm because the fans are exhausting heat up. This section, I could feel it when I put my hand over here. It's super hot up here. Down here too, under the riser, it's hot. So I might have to put a fan here to exhaust the air out so it doesn't go down and then get recycled up back into the case, into the GPU. Also, if I have this fan on the left, this one right here, blowing air this way into this area, that does help. You'll see in the video it helps about, I think 3 degrees. So these are my findings with the vertical riser. To be honest, I wouldn't put it on a vertical riser. I mean, I bought it already, so I guess I might as well use it. And it is nice to use, and it is nice to look at. But look, you could see it. And it's all because these nonsense of angular design nonsense. It's nonsense. I got a lot of comments so far of, a lot of brothers out there having trouble with this graphics card. And I feel you guys, I feel for you. I feel, man, it's just that their software is so buggy. And I'm explaining to you guys today what happened with the light RGB change. But some people can't even get the software to work. Now again, I don't know about the other graphics cards. But man, it's and everyone that has this graphics card, I mean, some might not have the problem, some might have it more than the others. I know I had a lot of trouble at the beginning, but it's been easier for me lately. But I don't like to see when someone is having trouble with the graphics card just to get it to work. It's ridiculous. We get the graphics card, we should all have fun. We should all be using it, and yes, there are glitches here and there, but not to the point that we can't even use the software, not to the point that we can't even use the LEDs. And then we get the graphics card, and then we see this nonsense. than if you go over here, right here. And then it's dimmer over here and it's dimmer over here. Ugh. I know I'm talking a lot and I know I'm rambling, but it's not right. And because of this situation, because I've been noticing it's brighter here and this angular design stuff, you know, they could easily fix this by making us a 3D printed face cover, and we could do whatever we want with it. We'll remove the LED from the top. I'd prefer to remove that LED because we're never going to see the LED now, the face. This one. We're not going to see it. So I'd rather remove this top piece to get all the heat out as much as possible. That would help, I believe, 2 to 3C easy. And also remove this stuff and give us a 3D printed stealth design or a different kind of design. Give us options. We'll pay for it if we have to pay for it. Can't be too expensive. What, 20 bucks? Yeah, right. It's not buyer's remorse because I love the graphics card. I love it. It's awesome. But when you love something, when you see these little nonsense things, this is nonsense. That is nonsense. Come on, guys and gals. It's ridiculous. All I want is to help people get informed on the card. And if no one is talking about it, these little things that this annoys so much. I can understand someone getting it. And this, you know, if someone bought the card and this was bothering them, well, you're nitpicking. That's how the card is. But if you can't even get the software to work, it's not only one person. It's a lot of people out there on Twitter. It's ridiculous that we can't get this card to work. And it's, you know, to me, it's ridiculous that this whole thing with the RGB malfunctioned. And you know what? Let me show you. Just so I can show you guys more things. If I go to here, let's see here. If I go under 40, look what happens. This is 25% on dazzling, and this is what still is happening on my end. Let's go 35. 35, still 35, see? If I go to 40, should fix it. There you go. Let's go to rainbow. So this is rainbow. Wow, see what I'm talking about? So if you're going to want to have this on idle, or if you're browsing the web and you want to have it on 20%, 25%, 35%, this is what might happen. Not necessarily. Every case, every motherboard is different, but this is what can happen. And it should not happen. So this is on rainbow loop. Let's go back to static. I'll go put it back to the normal blue that I like it at. Blue purple. See how the piercing could be piercing right there? So if I'm looking at my computer, doing whatever, I just glance to the left, boom, right there, right in my eyeball. I could probably fix this if I put the monitor this way, but come on, I don't want to have to do that. You know, the graphics card looks nice from the front, but again, those LEDs that reflect off the angles. You know, I can probably show you from this angle. You could see the angles. It's at an angle. Right here, this thing, and over here, you see? And over here too. It goes in. So it's bouncing off, but to your face. Again, I don't even think this is nitpicking. This is not nitpicking. These are flaws on the graphics card. Now that I have it at riser position and I'm seeing all these things that can affect everyone's view, it affects mine. And again, I have the graphics card, so, and I still like the graphics card. Even though all these things I'm saying, I still like it. It's just that I feel bad for people who have it and they can't even get it to work. That's ridiculous. And then these design flaws, they're design flaws. It's not nitpicking anymore. Nitpicking would be, oh, I don't like the colors, I don't like the... You know, the middle fan needs to run at a higher speed to help cool. You can see it for yourself with the benchmarking. Anything above 80 helps tremendously. Anything under 80, it's ridiculous. So if someone is running these benchmarks, like everybody else is running the benchmarks at, I want to say 60C, 60 fan speed, 70C, 70 fan speed, yes, you're going to get 80, 85C on the heat temperature. You need to run this at least 80% fan profile for that middle fan to even do anything remotely beneficial to the card. And with that, you're gonna have more noise. And the good thing about me with this case is at this position, I never go over 40 decibels. I'm at like 37 decibels. And I think I've shown it on the last video and on this video. It's like 37 decibels. It's not loud. I guess this glass panel helps tremendously. It does not bother. Headphones, you don't hear nothing. You put the speakers on super low volume, you don't hear anything. I don't even know if you can hear it right now. It's quiet. But again, I have the card. I'm going to keep the card. But when we buy something, when you have something, you have a right. Not even me, everyone has a right to criticize, to judge the card, and to review the card. And I just hope from all the information I've been able to put out there, it's helped someone make a decision on if it's worth your time and money, if you have the proper case, if you're willing to fidget with the fan speeds and get proper ventilation into your system. You know, if someone has this under the desk, like I said, everything that I'm saying is for this specific situation of mine. I'm here, I look at the card, these things are big flaws to me. If this is in a smaller case, under your desk, you know, if you have it like under your desk right here, you're not going to see it. I mean, yeah, you're going to see the illumination of the LEDs, of the fans, but you're not going to actually see what I'm pointing out. So then you might be like, whatever. And that's fine. And I'm happy for you because at least you don't have those problems. But for someone that wants to have their PC like this, you can't have it like this because that LED is so piercing. It bothers crazy. And if you're looking at it right in front of you, you can see it right there. There and up here. Right there. And this is I have it on medium brightness. But come on, you don't buy the graphics card to have it on that low brightness like this. You're not buying the graphics card for that. If that's the case, I'd go to another company, easy. I'd get the MSI Trio X and just deal with the lights up here that I'm never probably even going to see, but I know it's on, and call it a day. And it has better cooling. But you're buying this card for this, for the brightness. And when this LED bothers, when these, right up there, look at that piercing LED. Right here, look at that bouncing, reflecting LED. A little bit right here, not so much. Right there. Again, right up there. And look at that, right over here. You could see it right there. So it hits all the angles, All, see, you can look at it. All the angles you could see. And no one has, brought it up, and I'm bringing it up now because it bothers me, and I'm sure it bothers you or someone out there that's looking at this. Well, friends, I hope you found this video helpful. If you found it helpful, please leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe for more.